You were not born to live in fear, nor to wonder if the life you dream of is too far away. You were born to imagine, to feel, to believe, and through that belief to create. Every morning you rise is not simply the continuation of another day, but a sacred opportunity to direct the infinite power within you. This power is not in some distant star, not in the hands of another, not something to be earned through struggle or sacrifice. It is already yours now, and it waits only for your recognition. You are the operant power, the creative cause of everything that moves in your world. And the moment you take this truth seriously, not lightly, not casually, but absolutely, you will begin to see the entire universe bend itself in harmony with your assumption. Life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. It reflects you. It follows you. Your world is your mirror. And when you understand this, you stop fighting against the reflections and instead begin to shift the cause, your own inner world. There is no change out there until you change in here. The only way to experience a new reality is to be a new version of yourself. Not tomorrow, not when the conditions are favorable, but now, because now is all you ever have, and now is when you are dreaming. You see, you never manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. And who you are is determined by what you accept as true, what you feel to be real. That feeling, that inner movement, that is the secret key. It is the bridge from the invisible to the visible, from the imagined to the lived, from thought to fact. So the question is, what are you accepting right now? Are you living in the memory of what was, the pain of what happened, the fear of what might? Or are you dwelling in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, the state of already being the one you desire to be? You must persist in the inner experience until it becomes out of fact. You must choose again and again to return to the state where it is already done. Don't ask how. Don't look around for proof. Don't entertain doubt. The seed does not question how it becomes the tree. It simply fulfills its purpose by unfolding from within. And so must you. Imagination is your womb. Thought is your blueprint. Feeling is your magnetic pull. You are not hoping, you are knowing. You are not waiting, you are assuming. You are not chasing, you are becoming. This is the sacred art of manifestation, and you are already doing it whether you realize it or not. Every thought you indulge, every emotion you entertain, every inner dialogue you allow, these are the threads weaving your next reality. You cannot live in the vibration of lack and expect the experience of abundance. You cannot dwell in the state of being unloved and expect the reflection of deep connection. Life does not give you what you want. It reflects what you are. So what are you? Are you the one who waits or the one who walks as though it is already yours? Are you the one who pleads for a sign or the one who becomes the sign itself? There is a vast difference between hoping and knowing. Hope is tentative. Knowing is magnetic. Hope waits for evidence. Knowing becomes the evidence. This is why you must watch this every day. Not because the words have power, but because they stir the remembrance of your power. They redirect your attention. They call you out of the slumber of reaction and into the clarity of creation. Your attention is the most sacred currency in the universe. What you attend to, you fertilize. What you observe inwardly with feeling, you manifest outwardly. In fact, stop reacting. Stop begging. Stop checking the 3D world for signs of change. You are the change. You are the only operant power. Once you assume the state of your desired self and dwell in that state persistently and confidently, the world has no choice but to conform. Not by effort, not by force, but by natural law. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to prove anything. All you must do is move within. See it, feel it, be it, live from it. When you do this, your specific person begins to feel a pull they cannot understand. Your bank account begins to shift. Your health aligns. Your life rearranges itself to match your new inner temperature. You don't chase because there is nothing to chase. You draw in, you don't force, you allow. Imagination creates reality. And the moment you begin to take that seriously, your world becomes malleable. Clay in your hands, not because the clay changes, but because the hands that mold it become sure. You are not separate from your creation. Your world is you pushed out. It is your reflection. And reflections do not lead, they follow. So let us speak of feeling, because feeling is the secret. The subconscious is not moved by words. It is moved by impressions, by images saturated with emotion. You may say affirmations 1,000 times a day. But if you say, I am loved while feeling unwanted, it is the feeling that is impressed, not the words. You must believe it. Not mentally, but emotionally, viscerally, completely. It must feel real. So how do you do this? By turning inward, by closing your eyes and constructing the scene that would naturally imply your wishes fulfilled. You hear them say, I love you. You see the money in your account. You walk into the room and feel the success radiating from every cell. And then you feel the thrill, the gratitude, the certainty, the rest. You do not visualize to make it happen. You visualize because it has already happened. That is the key. You aren't creating it. You are selecting it, choosing it, claiming it. The infinite version of you already exists. The life you want is already real on a higher plane. And your job is not to create it. It is to align with it, to shift into the frequency of that version of you. How? By assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. And how do you assume it? By living from it, not thinking about it, living from it, feeling it real. You're not just imagining they thinking about you right now. You're not just affirming. You've already received the message. The money is already deposited. The person is already yours. The success is already secured. It is not happening. It has happened. And you are only now awakening to it. You are collapsing time by your conviction. You are quantum leaping by your imagination. Your feelings are messengers. They tell you what state you are occupying. And if you don't like the feeling, you don't resist it. You move. You shift. You choose again. You are not at the mercy of emotions. You are their master. You can direct your inner movie at will. You can choose to dwell in love, in power, in peace, in abundance, in union. And when you do, the external world begins to reflect your choice. Not immediately, not always instantly, but inevitably, because everything begins within. You are not powerless. You are not separate. You are not waiting. You are creating right now. This isn't magic, it's law. The law of consciousness. The law that says what you feel and accept as true with conviction and persistence must harden into fact. It is not up for debate. It is not about deserving. It is not about being good enough. You are already good enough. You are already worthy. You are already chosen. The only thing that delays your manifestation is your own wavering, your own disbelief, your own habit of checking the mirror instead of changing your expression. You keep planting seeds, but digging them up to see if they've sprouted. You must let it be. Let it unfold. Trust the unseen. That is faith. That is power. Speak it until you feel it. Feel it until you become it. Become it until it is reflected. That is the process. That is the practice, and it works without fail for those who persist. You want them to obsess over you, then obsess inwardly with the version of you that is adored. You want money to flow to you from all directions, and feel yourself already financially free. Walk into every room with the vibration of I am supported, I am magnetic, I am abundant. Not someday, but now, now, now. Because now is all you have. Now is when you shift. Now is the door. And once you walk through that door, everything changes. And as you remain in that door, as you persist in the unseen, life begins to reveal what was already true on the higher plane. You don't make it true. You recognize it. You don't struggle to earn it. You consent to it. This is not about forcing yourself into belief.
Clears throat.
It's about relaxing into what has always been yours. The moment you drop resistance, the moment you stop questioning and simply accept, it flows. Because reality does not withhold from you, your own resistance does. You are the source, the operant power, and all creation begins with your inner assumption. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the creator of conditions. You don't wait for change. You bring change through your internal allegiance to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Once you commit to the version of yourself that has what you want, without apology, without hesitation, without looking back, the outer world begins to arrange itself in divine orchestration to match your new identity. It is law. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for conditions to be perfect. The only perfect condition is the one you create internally. Every miracle you've ever heard of, every breakthrough, every healing, every story of dramatic transformation began with someone daring to believe in something unseen. And so can you. It is not outside your reach. It is you. Walk like it, think like it, move like it. Sit with your spine straight and your eyes alive. Not because the world told you to, but because you know who you are. You are not one who hopes. You are one who knows. You are not begging God, the universe, or any higher power for scraps. You are embodying your oneness with it. You are not praying from lack. You are declaring from union. You are not reaching outward. You are realizing inward. That realization is everything. Your realization is the signal. It is the vibration. It is the shift. When you realize it fully, emotionally, spiritually, vibrationally, you do not need to chase, convince, or worry. The world takes shape. People move. Messages are sent. Doors open. Why? Because the outer world must reflect your inner conviction. There is no other option. That is the unbreakable law. You are not separated from what you desire. You are only separated by belief. The moment you believe that it is yours and you live as if it is so, everything reorganizes to match that conviction. And you will see it, you will feel it, you will know it, because it will become undeniable. But you must persist. You must saturate your mind daily with this truth. You must flood your emotional body with the feeling of your fulfilled desire. Even when the 3D world appears unchanged, even when the facts scream the opposite, you return again and again to the feeling, to the assumption, to the knowing. You don't do this occasionally. You do it consistently. You saturate your awareness. You commit to the new reality. You become it. There is no one to change but self, no circumstance to defeat, no person to control. You don't need them to change. You don't need their validation. All you need is your inner shift. And once you shift, they shift. Life shifts. Reality reshapes itself in your image. Because your image is what forms the mold, and the mold always comes first. This is why you must see yourself as already victorious. Already chosen, already loved, already in possession of what you once believed was separate. There is no separation. That was the illusion. You are already one with your desire. You are not on the outside looking in. You are at the center creating it all from within. Feel that deeply. Sit with it, breathe it, let it overwhelm you. Not in anxiety, but in glory. Let your inner world become so vivid, so alive, so emotionally saturated that the outer world becomes irrelevant. That is the secret to care more about what you feel within than what you see without. Because what you feel becomes what you see. This is why it's not enough to visualize. You must emotionalize. It's not enough to say the words. You must become the vibration. You must feel the way you would feel if it were already done. And when you feel that, when you rest in that, you move the universe. You set off a domino effect of events, conversations, ideas, and miracles that bring it to you. The one who feels it real lives in a completely different universe than the one who doubts. They could be in the same room, but their worlds are light years apart. And only one of them is shaping tomorrow. Only one of them is operating in their divine power. The one who assumes it is done. So I ask you now, are you assuming it is done, or are you waiting for signs? Because if you wait for signs, you delay the miracle. You are the sign. Your inner state is the confirmation. Stop needing anything else. Stop needing reassurance. You've already chosen. Now live as if it's already yours. And that's what they feel. That's why they start thinking about you out of nowhere. That's why they reach out. That's why the money comes in. That's why the job calls. That's why you walk into rooms and heads turn, because you've shifted internally. And now the external must obey. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's not pride, it's presence. You're not pretending, you're remembering. You're not deluded, you're divine. You are stepping into your rightful place as the chooser, the feeler, the one who decides. Not in struggle, in stillness, not in force, in faith. Faith is not hoping things go well. Faith is the inner assurance that they already have. And when you walk with that kind of faith, something supernatural happens. Life rearranges itself. People say yes. Traffic clears. Paths open. Delays dissolve. And the only thing that changed was you. Not your surroundings, not your family, not your past. You. You stepped into the feeling, you assumed the reality. You relaxed into the knowing. And suddenly what was hard becomes easy. What was delayed becomes instant. What was impossible becomes inevitable. This is not a maybe. It's a must. It's not a wish. It's law. And the more you repeat this truth, the more you saturate your mind with it, the more you feel it, not like a fantasy, but like a fact, the faster it becomes your reality. Now breathe. Feel the weight. Lift the resistance. Dissolve the truth. Settle, because this is the truth. It has always been the truth. You have simply forgotten. But you are remembering now. You are aligning now. You are stepping into your true nature. Now the world is mental. Reality is fluid. And your assumption is the command. You do not need years of practice. You do not need special abilities. You only need one thing, the decision to believe, to assume, to feel. And once you decide, the shift begins internally first, then externally, but never the other way around. That is why most people fail. They wait for external validation before internal belief. But the masters, the ones who see their desires come to life, they reverse it. They choose first, believe first, feel first, then life bows, circumstances yield, people conform, miracles appear. You are the cause, you are the command, you are the origin. So walk today like it's already yours. Speak today like the wish has already been fulfilled. Think today like the version of you that has already won. Don't wait for the world to catch up. Let the world follow your lead. You see, the moment you stop looking at life as something outside of you and start seeing it as your reflection, everything changes. No longer are you hoping someone sees your worth. You know your worth. And so the world must mirror that knowing. No longer are you anxiously refreshing your messages because you've already received the message within. No longer are you seeking signs, you are the sign. Your inner world becomes the template and the outer world becomes the echo. Every breath you take in the state of your wish fulfilled reshapes your reality. Every second you spend mentally dwelling in that new version of you sends out a ripple that bends time, alters timelines, and moves mountains. And you may not see the result immediately, but know this. You are never ignored. Your summit is always planting. Your inner world is always broadcasting. The universe does not sleep. It responds constantly, unfailingly. You can choose to observe the delay or to feel the inevitability. The version of you who has it doesn't question when it lives in the knowing that it's now. Time bends to assumption. The more vivid your inner world becomes, the more flexible time becomes in the outer. What once would have taken years now comes in weeks. What once seemed impossible becomes routine. But here's the key. You must persist. Not through willpower, but through joyful assumption, through ease, through conviction, through repetition. This is why you must return to this message every single day. Not because it contains magic, but because you do. This message is a mirror. It is reminding you who you are. You are the one who commands life through your inner state. You are the one who speaks in feelings. You are the one who attracts by being. When you feel as though they miss you, they will. When you feel as though you are abundant, you become magnetic to wealth. When you feel chosen, people cannot help but reflect that energy back to you. They look at you and not know why they're so drawn because it's not physical. It's energetic. It's vibrational. It's the pull of your inner world announcing itself without you saying a single word. This is what you were always meant to do. You were never meant to live by reaction. You were meant to create, to feel, to embody. Every state you inhabit is a world in itself. And when you move from one state to another, you shift timelines. You shift what's possible. The outer world may seem stable, but it is only mirroring your current identification. Who are you identifying with today? The you who waits or the you who already has? The you who questions or the you who walks in knowing? The only difference between you and the version of you living your dream life is the state you occupy. That's it. Not time, not luck, not effort. State and state is determined by feeling, by belief, by assumption. The state of being loved feels a certain way. The state of being wealthy has a frequency. The state of being magnetic, desired, admired, it all has a flavor, a tone, a temperature. And once you immerse yourself in it consistently, the world around you has no choice but to reflect it. This is why it's not about forcing outcomes. It's about resting in being. The universe loves a confident soul. Not arrogance, not pride, but certainty. The kind of certainty that says, I do not need to chase because what is mine cannot miss me. The kind of certainty that smiles when it sees no evidence because it feels the invisible movement beneath the surface. And there is always movement. Every time you assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you cause things to shift. People talk about you behind your back. Opportunities are arranged. Delays are dissolved. Emails are written. Phone calls are made. The unseen begins to take form. You must trust this. You must trust that your assumption is powerful enough to change matter, to change minds, to change everything, because it is your world, is your consciousness objectified. And when you change your consciousness, you change your world. This isn't theory. This is law. The person you want to call you already thinking about you. The money you want to receive already circulating and on its way. The health you desire already encoded within your body, just waiting for your agreement. Your job is not to make it happen. It's to agree with it, to assume it, to accept it. Acceptance is the bridge. Feeling is the doorway. Imagination is the path. You walk this every day by watching your thoughts, guiding your emotions, and returning to the assumption that it is already done. Not it will be, not it might be. It is, and when you say it, feel it. See yourself in the scene that confirms it. You are not pretending. You are selecting from the infinite possibilities that already exist in this moment. You are choosing the one that matches your new state and your attention, your belief, your assumption. That is your selection tool. If you shift your state, your world must shift. Even if it takes a moment, it must obey. Reality bends to the persistence assumption, but you must persist. Do not visit the state. You must dwell in it. You must become it. You must walk in it as naturally as you breathe. That's when the magic happens. That's when the specific person messages out of the blue. That's when the client appears. That's when the email comes. That's when the pain disappears. That's when everything begins to flow. Not because you chased it, but because you allowed it. You embodied it. You lived from it before it was visible. That is the definition of creation. You create from the unseen, from the intangible, from the invisible. And what you assume internally becomes visible externally. It must. It has no choice. You are not weak. You are not lost. You are not helpless. You are divine, radiant, infinite, powerful consciousness expressing through form. You are the light behind the eyes, the feeling behind the thought, the presence behind the story. And when you remember this, you become unstoppable. Don't look outside. Don't ask for opinions. Don't seek signs. Turn within again and again and again until your inner world is louder than your outer, until the dream is more vivid than the delay, until the unseen is more alive than the facts. And then watch what happens. Life will bend. People will shift. Reality will crumble and rebuild itself to match your conviction, because your conviction is creative. Your imagination is power. Your feeling is the blueprint. Your assumption is law. And once you know this, you no longer settle. You no longer wonder. You no longer ask if it's working. And you walk in that knowing until it hardens into fact. They feel you now, the pull, the connection, the desire. You are in their mind. Not because you spoke to them, but because you felt it within, because you created it inside. And the inside always leads the outside. Everything begins in you. And it begins now. So now that you understand this truth, not just intellectually but viscerally, you must let it saturate your entire being. Every cell, every breath, every beat of your heart must echo the assumption of your fulfilled desire. You are not practicing to make it happen. You are practicing because it has already happened. You are no longer waiting for life to respond. Life is waiting on you to decide. You must decide now, not casually, not conditionally, but with complete emotional commitment. That means no more entertaining opposing thoughts, no more checking for proof, no more watching the 3D world for signs. The one who doubted, the one who hoped, the one who waited. The new you doesn't wait. It is done. The new you doesn't react, it creates. And when you walk in that vibration, the very atoms of reality begin to move differently around you. People sense your shift, even if they don't understand it. Circumstances align with effortless precision. Timing works in your favor. Delays dissolve like mist in the sunlight of your certainty, not because of chance, but because of the law. The law of assumption, the law that says what you feel to be true and persistent feeling must externalize. And let us talk now about persistence. Not the hard grinding persistence of effort, but the sacred, still persistence of inner conviction. This is not a marathon of action. It is a practice of presence, a practice of being. You don't need to move the outer pieces. You only need to remain loyal to the inner image. Loyalty to the unseen, that is the key. Faithfulness to the felt reality. Even when the world outside screams in opposition. This is not delusion. It is divine focus. It is the secret of every miracle worker, every master, every soul who has bent time and space to their will. They did not beg, they did not plead, they did not try, they knew, they felt, they assumed. And when you assume long enough, the world has no choice but to echo your assumption. It may arrive through unexpected paths. It may come in ways that your mind couldn't imagine, but it will come. It must. That is law. So if you are manifesting a specific person, stop looking for them. Stop wondering what they're doing, thinking, feeling. That focus keeps you in separation. Instead, shift into the state of already having them. Walk through your day with the vibration of they are mine. Speak to them within. Feel their presence. Hear their voice. See their name on your phone. Let it be so real in your mind and heart that you no longer crave it. You live it. If it's money you desire, stop counting what's missing. Stop measuring lack. That is all vibration. Feel yourself already supported, already wealthy, already abundant. Not because of a number, but because abundance is a state. It's a feeling of safety, expansion, freedom. You don't wait to feel it. You feel it first, and the numbers follow. If it's health, stop identifying with the problem. That identity sustains it. Instead, identify with the version of you who is whole. See yourself walking, moving, thriving, radiating vitality. Feel what that would feel like. Let yourselves listen to your belief. Speak the language of healing, not hoping. Say, I am whole. I am light. I am restored. Not someday. Now, because now is the only moment you have. It is the only moment that creates, and every now is pregnant with infinite possibilities. Which one will you choose? The one that aligns with fear, or the one that matches your fulfilled desire? You choose by your state, by your focus, by the energy you carry into every room. That is why people will begin to act differently around you. Not because they've changed, but because you have. You are no longer the version of you who needs validation. You are the validation. You are no longer seeking signs. You are the signal, the vibration, the cause, and they will feel it. That specific person, that job, that opportunity, that solution, they will feel the shift in you. And they won't know why they are drawn, but they will be, because energy never lies. Assumption never fails. Feeling is the messenger, and your inner reality is always broadcasting. The question is, what are you broadcasting right now? Are you sending out the signal someone who is still waiting, or someone who already has someone who is trying, or someone who is being? Because the moment you stop trying and start being, everything changes. Effort becomes ease. Worry becomes wisdom. Delay becomes divine timing. You shift out of victimhood and into sovereignty. And in that shift, miracles